Good evening and welcome to the July 22nd meeting of the Lakeville Conservation Commission. We are being televised tonight by LakeCAM. Is anyone else recording? Seeing none, we'll start with going around identifying ourselves.
I'm Mark Minton, I'm the agent.
John LeBlanc,
Michelle Bouchard, Nancy Yates.
Joseph Chamberlain.
William Alfanos.
Matthew Ferraro.
Okay, here we go. First up on our agenda is an RDA for 9 Chabonneau. Do we have I don't have a posting. We have to open this. A posting, right? From the paper.
I do.
Okay, that would be wonderful. May we borrow that,
Of course.
please? Yeah, I have to read it. It's gonna roll over and get it. I gave you. Thank you. Okay, I need a motion to open the hearing.
So moved.
Second. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, the Wetlands Protection Act, the Lake Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on 7/22/25 at 6:30 p.m. at the Lakeville Police Station, 323 Bedford Street, on a request for determination of applicability. The applicant, 9 Charbonneau Nominee Trust, is proposing removal of a dead tree within the buffer zone of Long Pond. The project is located at 9 Charbonneau Avenue and is also identified as Assessor's Map 36, Block 2, Lot 14. Let me get that back to you when you're ready to go. Madam Chair, it's actually voting on that.
You're just gonna say we didn't vote on the
Oh,
motion.
we didn't vote on opening the hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Just to keep it legal.
Okay. You're on.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the commission and staff. My name is Lyman Locken. Together with my wife, we are the owners of 9 Charbonneau. It's been in her family since 1952. We have a request for an RDA to remove a dead tree that's probably about 31 feet from the water's edge. The removal would be done by Beaver Tree Works. Gary Larangelo, the respected arborist, has already looked at the tree and confirmed it's dead. And we would send out a climbing crew and cut the tree in sections. And then after that's done, we would grind the stump. But prior to grinding the stump, we will erect a plywood barrier to mitigate the flying chips and or rake up any chips that happen to escape. And we regret the tree is dead, but it's gone. We'll put a bird bath in its place.
I visited the property on July 11th, and I can confirm the tree is apparently very dead. There's no signs of life, no leaves, no growth.
I think you've covered absolutely everything, like even beyond the call of duty here of what you're gonna do and how you're gonna protect the pond.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Now, the plywood baffles, if you will, is a nice touch to keep stuff from flying all over the place.
So I would recommend that we close the hearing and issue a -3 determination with 2 conditions. Stump will be ground and anything that happens to enter the pond, how even remote that possibility is, will be removed.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. There you go.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get that back. Thank you. So, Mark, in the basket, there weren't, anything for the newspaper for 12 and 14.
No. Nope. Hold on.
Oops. Okay. No, that's okay. Which one is this? On Morrison Way. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Okay, next up is 12 and 14 Morrison Way. Motion to open the hearing.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. According to the provisions of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40 of the Wetlands Protection Act, there will be a hearing on a request for determination of applicability by Doug Mann to install a new private water supply well with water service to the house within 100 feet of Long Pond. Work also falls within flood zone AE 57. All work is located within an existing lawn area. The location of the project is 12 and 14 Morrison Way. Map 40, Block 4, Lot 3. The public hearing will take place on Tuesday, July 22nd at 6:30 p.m. at the Lakeville Police Station, 323 Bedford Street, Lakeville.
Good evening. For the record, Niall Zager from Zenith. So we actually have to ask for a continuance for this tonight. Unfortunately, we found some documentation. We actually weren't able to find accurate documentation on one of the septic systems on the property at the Board of Health. We thought it was a cesspool, but it's actually a tank with some sort of a pit or something coming off of it. We were hoping that we could get a Title V inspection done on it prior to this meeting, but we weren't able to. They're actually out there as we speak, looking for it. And essentially, it's not going to change the work or anything like that, but it might change the location of the well a little bit. So I'd like to ask for a continuance in case there is a change based off of the information that we have.
All right. I think there's a couple of questions, actually.
Yeah, I think Miles, you covered it a little bit. We were looking at, obviously you're trying to site the new well based on setbacks, but, we had questions. It's right on the boundary of for natural heritage review and right on the edge of the buffer zone. But I mean, the proposed site is gonna change likely, or that?
Yeah, so I mean, it's in the buffer zone because, I mean, that's why we're here. I mean, we don't really have a choice.
Right.
And as far as natural heritage goes, I mean, it's a temporary impact, so, I don't know if the commission has a concern about that, but for a utility, it's a temporary impact, so
Yeah.
I would think it shouldn't be, and it's in an existing lawn area, so I'm not sure if there's a concern about that from the commission, but, we can file with natural heritage if you'd like. I just
Well,
don't
is your new plan is gonna come closer to the water, I guess is my,
know.
is
may-
it gonna come closer to the pond?
I don't know. I don't know, and that's why we're
Okay. Well, I
asking for a
think,
continuance.
and anybody else can speak up, but I think if you're in natural heritage, we usually require that. We see something from natural heritage if you're in there, and it was hard to tell because you said it was approximate and that plan's stamped by an engineer, not a land surveyor, so.
Approximate for what?
On the natural heritage
Natural,
line.
yeah, natural heritage is based off of Mass GIS, so it's approximate. That's what, we always call it approximate. But, yeah.
Okay.
So if you would like it filed with natural heritage, we can absolutely do that. That's not a problem.
Do you have a feel for when the original construction was done?
For the system itself,
Yeah, everything on the lot, yeah.
it was a long time ago. This is a strange situation
So
where
we
there's.
don't, we can only guess at what you're gonna find when you start digging.
That's again, they're out there right now as we speak, so, one of them is a cesspool. The house that we're upgrading the well on, is a cesspool. It's shown on the plan. The other one on number 12, which if you're standing at the street on the right, is, is, we thought a cesspool, but it's actually a tank that we found an old hand sketch that called out and it's not an as-built or anything, it's actually a proposal, so we don't even know if that's what was done. But it shows a tank with some sort of a line coming off of it, we have no idea what. So, until we can confirm that, we have to get that confirmed before we can confirm that we're gonna be a minimum of 50 feet and and the Board of Health is going to want it as far away from there as possible.
Obviously.
Right.
So we may have to push it further away from that in closer to Long Pond. We're trying to keep it 25 if we can, but there's no way of knowing until we see what we've got.
So I guess we should wait and see, but I'm thinking if it's closer to the pond and it really isn't iffy, if it's a natural heritage, if it really is, then they should have the opportunity to respond.
Okay.
I don't know how anybody else feels about that.
The other thing now is, typically when somebody comes in for a well, they show a dewatering basin somewhere.
Okay, we can do
If
that.
you can do that,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, gonna
Motion to continue to the
next.
12th.
August 12th.
August 12th at 6:30.
so moved.
Second. Okay. Nancy, you call out
Take a vote.
for a continuance?
We have a motion and a
Motion
second.
a second.
No vote.
Boy, I'm not doing good on that tonight. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good thing I got a whole committee. That's what we're here for. Keep an eye on me, that's a
Uh-huh.
good thing. So we're gonna continue the next one. No, we're not. 52 Clear Pond Road.
Oh, 52. I jumped ahead.
Hello, Madam Chairman and fellow board members. Madam Chairman, I believe you
Oh,
received.
identify
Oh,
yourself.
sorry, Derek Maxey,
Okay,
55 Long Point Road, and this is in regards to 52 Clear Pond Road.
okay.
I believe you received an email from the soil analyst, I guess, Steve Shamil.
Yes.
Last time I was here, he was away on vacation, and
Now he's been hit by a motorcycle.
He was hit, he was on his
On
motorcycle, hit by a
motorcycle,
car.
You all right?
Yeah, well, he got transported, airlifted, but he's home now, and he was able to get this letter out to the chairperson and also the agent.
I don't know if it came to the agent or not.
So
I got it
I
later
have some
on this
extras right here.
afternoon. Okay.
I got it.
I didn't print it out. I didn't know if you were bringing it, if he was, I knew he wasn't coming.
So basically what he's saying, if I read this correctly,
Yep.
is he would like to get permission from the commission to actually go out there and have an excavator start and do like lateral trenches, because as you know, it's the mulch is pretty thick in that area where we're talking, and it's hard you almost can't identify without doing some excavating work. So he'd like to do trenches and try to identify where it is at what height, and obviously have your agent or any commission member witness it at the same time, so we can establish where we think the line is for the wetlands line. We can't think of any, he went down 4 feet in some cases and didn't hit it.
And he also said that he thought it'd only take about half a day, so that would be something that maybe Mark could supervise on the day he's doing it, because it's gonna be in there with a, small machine.
Right, so this is the plan that the commission has asked for, and I think it's feasible. I think it's really, instead of pulling it all out and not knowing where it is, if we start from where we think it is and go to where we know it isn't, then we'll kind of be able to test right in there at that point.
And Steve has, he didn't put it on here, but he has his, PWS.
Public water supply.
Well, that too.
Okay.
Professional wetland scientist. He does, I think he's got some initials. He's very,
Yes.
whatever here. So I would like this plan with like his professional stuff on it instead of just emailed.
Yeah.
But to me, this is what we asked for.
Yeah, and I think he can give you a plan ahead of time, when he's obviously feeling better now, but he can get it ready for you within the next couple of weeks or whatever to actually go out there and have someone witness as we're peeling back some of that material.
Okay, so how about we continue to the 12th just for an update? I'm not saying it'll be done by then or whatever, but we'll put you back to continue to August 12th for an update on what's been done or hasn't, or how it's going.
So would it be okay, with the commission that we actually start exposing this to try to find out?
As long as you call
Notifies
Mark
the
to
agent,
tell
yes.
him when you're doing
Yeah.
it, so he can be
Okay.
on site. If there's gonna be a machine on site,
That's
somebody,
what, yeah.
and if he can't make it, myself or one of the commissioners will.
One of us
Okay.
has to be present.
Yeah, one of us
Absolutely.
has to be
Yeah,
present.
makes-
Or else no.
Yeah, I want witnesses there when he does. I want to see what's
Okay.
under
What's
there
the
myself.
proposed ultimate location for whatever you dig out of there?
Yeah, and we're gonna use a smooth type bucket, so it's not digging into it. It's actually gonna be like a ditching bucket. And basically, when we get to where we think it's getting close, that's when we'll stop. And, at that point, he can just auger through some of the wood chips and find out what it is, whether it's hydric or non-hydric. Other than using the mass mapper, which we've already overlaid that to get an idea where we think it is.
Okay,
And at some point, we're gonna need to do some sort of a septic system somewhere there. So it's real important that we find out where this is now and kinda, maybe under the NOI, put them both on the same time. So we'll come back to you with whatever the Board of Health says we need to do for the septic,
okay,
so you'll know for that as well.
And we're just gonna need to have really solid plans at some point with a really set location that we can actually
Yeah.
work off of instead of,
Yeah, so currently the professional surveyor has staked out where he thinks it is based
Yeah.
on mappers, mass mappers, but I think the next step is, let's start there and see if we need to work out further, until we get down there, we don't know what's under there.
So all this work is just to determine the wetland.
That's all it is.
yep,
Correct.
the wetland line.
Not to do any
Then we go from there.
disturbance more than that. That's
Right.
why he suggested just trenches.
And then he'll give us a plan for how they're gonna rectify it.
Correct,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
but
Okay.
there's so much has been moved. It is very squishy in the history and the plans that we need to have at least one good fixed point
Yes,
with all the work that's moving
yeah, exactly.
forward.
Yeah.
So if we can get and set one fixed point and have all the work be done around that, that would be
Absolutely,
great.
and of course, the agent can let any one of you know when you wanna come down, we'll let you know the date, and any one of you wanna come down and witness it, the more the merrier. Nice to have on site, so we get a feel for it.
The more the merrier. If we showed up, you'd probably put us to work.
That too, bring your shovels, please. And I think that was it, and he apologizes for not being over there.
Pitchforks better for wood chips.
Snow shovels.
Watch out for
No
villagers
show.
and pitchforks, though.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so I'm gonna look for a motion to continue contingent that he gives us a plan with his credentials and everything on it, but this right here
Okay.
is good, so.
So
motion
moved to continue to 8/12/25
At
at
6:30.
6:30. Here at the
Excellent.
police station.
Wow.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good afternoon, at night, I should say, at this point. Thanks, Matt.
Give him a call, or the office.
Yes.
Absolutely, thanks.
All right, so 301 Pond Lane is next, and they've requested a continuance also, so we need a motion to continue 301 Pond Lane to, August 12th, 2025 at 6:30 PM at the police station.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, right.
Hey, I'm doing better.
Is that the new answer? Yep, aye.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm not against it, to change it up every now and then.
All right, next we have something that was continued from 6/24/25, which is a notice of intent for 19 Captain's Way. Niles?
Again, for the record, now Zager from Zenith. As you are well aware, there was a lot of discussion at the last meeting, regarding, how to move forward and ways to move forward, if had any. Since then, Since then, we've done this, there was an additional site visit beyond the initial, with a few of the members that couldn't be there, so that they could see the, you know, the location of the home, the proposed home, in relation to the, you know, to the resource area. That was performed, I believe, last Tuesday. So those members are now aware of it and been on ground to see it. At that meeting, at the previous meeting here, we discussed things that we were willing to do to try to, you know, upgrade the, you know, the plan that you see before you. One of them being, or, you know, more reinforced erosion control, you know, silt sock along with silt fence. We talked about better stabilization of the area. We're willing to do filter, you know, some sort of geogrid. We're willing to do sod, whatever that may be, whatever the commission is comfortable with post-construction. And we also talked about things for drainage, roof drains, things of that nature. We can provide roof drains on the home, and we can provide a trench along the driveway, like a stone trench to infiltrate the water.
Is that on there?
No, so
Okay.
again, we didn't make any of those changes yet because we wanted to see, my client's willing to do all these things. I'm bringing those to the table and informing the board that we'll make those changes. But before we do that, we wanted to make sure the commission was generally in favor of the proposal with those changes. Otherwise, we're not gonna make those changes essentially.
All right, well, here's the thing, is we got an estimate on the Wetland line. We got an estimate from Brandon. Was that in the basket, the estimate? That came in, it was about 20, how much?
2250.
2250
Okay.
for the wetland line, maybe habitat impacts for potential vernal pool. We already told you we'd like to have the vernal pool certified. But we didn't put out for any kind of an engineering review about the roof drain and infiltration and everything. So do you wanna, so I guess I'm confused whether you wanna make a new plan and get all that done, or, I don't know, how do we feel about that? Or you wanna start with if the wetland line's correct and go from there? You'll have to probably see what your client says.
So this is what we talked about at the last meeting, and that's why I was concerned. I didn't, you know, I thought we talked about it going out for review. I didn't realize it was gonna have to go for multiple things, so that's why I'm a little bit, you know, I'm a little bit thrown back.
All right, so, I mean, can somebody else chip in here? I mean, when we took a vote, and I'd have to go back and look at it exactly, because we don't get the minutes for a while, but when we said we were going out for a review,
Yeah, we said the wetland line.
yeah, we did not say anything about roof drains or engineering on
But that's all
infiltration.
additional stuff to this plan.
Right,
So
We
I
don't need that
That
reviewed
needs to
by-
be reviewed.
Say again?
We don't need to have that reviewed by somebody else. That was just an ask for them to include.
Yeah, I mean, this is a
Our request
really,
to them.
so these drainage things are not required. These are not required by stormwater, because this isn't applicable to stormwater management. None of that is applicable. So it's not a design standard as far as meeting regulation. It's something that we're
about
throwing.
infiltrating back into the ground, I'm just thinking, because we have another case where we did a peer review on what was being infiltrated back into the ground and want to make.
Well, because he was using a different type of a product. that-
Okay,
And it was over the impervious requirement, right? Wasn't it over the 25%?
Yeah.
It required
Yeah.
review.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this
Okay.
is different. I don't think that this
Needs a
escalates
review.
to pay
Okay.
for
All
review,
right.
because this is a we are asking, given the unique circumstances of the lot and the house, for additional remediation. But having seen it, having walked it and reviewed the wetland lines myself, I think that anything other than a review of the wetland line is, because even then I think it has a lot of grace to it where it is right now. I think anything above that is asked. I don't think we need a review of what drainage plans they've put in, or what they've discussed putting in at our request.
I think, I've spoken with DEP a little bit since we met last time out on the site last week, and, I'm trying to look at this through what any impacts the project would have on the resources. So, and the, basically the interest of the act, thing like, flood protection. And I know I found some photos online from back in, there's from May 2010, I believe, where, I mean, obviously that was a significant flooding throughout Mass, but it's just, it raises questions to me about, if that wetlands line isn't exactly right. And we saw the pollen rings on the trees, and one of them was up to my waist. And so I don't know if you drew a plane from that, and maybe that's all accounted for in the engineering, but I think we want to make sure that wetlands, that we're not impacting the interest of flood control, and
Which is why we're having the wetland line peer
right.
review.
And that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. And
Is your client willing to do the peer review of the wetland line?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and what was your back to what your original question was before I got it off track of the question about if you do the roof drains and what else? Are you asking us
The
if we're gonna
increase.
still have
The increased erosion control.
For
Yeah,
the-
no, what I'm saying is
Yeah.
my client is willing to make those changes.
Okay.
To try to appease the commission as much as possible. But it's our feeling that this going to DEP is most likely going to get overturned if it were to be denied. This is most likely going to get a superseding order. So we're willing to do this for the commission, but it's not necessary. These aren't necessary things that are required under the act. If DEP requires it, then we'll do it, afterwards, but we're willing to do that now to try to make you happy, as happy as you can be. But that's my client's, take on this. He's willing to do that, but he doesn't want to put it on a plan until he knows that the commission's gonna be okay with it. We can make that change to the plan.
They're offering additional mitigation to try to help.
Yeah.
I know, but I just don't think that you can assume that DEP would overturn it if we didn't like it. I know that,
Well, that's neither here nor there. That's his risk to take.
Yeah.
But
And they chose not to comment.
well, they're saying,
what
we're assuming DEP could overturn it, so that kind of feel
Yeah.
like we have new members too. That puts us in a point of, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I mean,
But
no,
we can all disagree on that.
Okay,
That doesn't really pertain to this, what's before us now.
so all we're here
So
for
what they wanna
tonight,
know is if they drop all this money and do all this extra stuff, are we gonna approve it? Assuming that the wetland line is right.
If the wetland line is right and we stick to the jurisdiction of the commission, then they've gone over and above everything that we have permission to hold authority to.
that's our take on it, but again, it's your comfort level, that's it. We're willing, my client's willing to take the next step to make you feel more comfortable at the wetland line. And if that's found accurate, we feel as though that what you have before you with the changes that what I've spoken about are more than adequate to protect the area in the interest of the area.
Did you end up with, this picture?
No.
This was it May 1st, 2010?
that was
just-
the
that's from
flooding in
Google Earth.
2010.
My concern is seeing all the photos with the pollen on the trees. The house is benched at 94, the street's benched at 86. The water is way past 94
Yeah.
on the picture. Yeah, that's my concern to it.
Is there any local info about how long this water was here?
I was doing a
May 1st with a
historical
flood,
review.
I can
on
tell you the
usually-
flood was on my birthday. May 27th was severe flooding. March 27th, I'm sorry, was severe flooding. So that by May 1st, there was still that much water.
But again,
It's not up to.
now we're gonna have a peer review of the wetland line
Right.
by an engineer or a scientist. They're gonna tell us if that's the wetland line or not. And then it's their risk if they build a house that gets flooded,
Right.
you know, in a 100-year storm or
Right.
whatever.
And we're still not talking about, I'm the only one talking about the elephant in the room. For 20 years, we've had a no touch on new construction, 25-foot no touch.
Okay.
That's
You-
my, I know.
You put it out there.
Huh?
You put it out there.
I did put it out
So
there.
I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no, you can. You
that-
talk to a real estate lawyer. Go
Well,
ahead.
I mean, it's my opinion that the board doesn't have the authority to do that. That it would only be through a town bylaw voted by the residents of the town that you can enforce that.
And I've researched it as well. We don't have the jurisdictional authority, and
I
it
mean,
could get us in
You've
trouble.
been doing it, but I don't believe you have the authority to do it.
Right, but
We
it's
have
not,
the
right,
authority.
but it's not the authority, it's the,
Practice.
we've had a policy for that long and,
But with no authority
but
behind
it has
You can do the.
scientific backup. I call DEP myself,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay.
Higher up. And you're right. It might not hold up, but because we have been doing it for so long and we have from 2015, which
Yeah.
I passed
Right.
out,
All right, so
the
this-
scientific backing for it, we have a chance. I'm not ready to give up and give away opening up
Well, then
that
take a vote
25.
and see how the board members feel.
And renew the discussion of a bylaw under old business. Let's
I
bring
already
that
did
back.
that too.
I mean, you can.
But
Not
no,
right
no.
now. Let's not put
Right,
Niles
no,
through this
no,
again.
but,
I'm willing for the commission to take a vote tonight, because I mean, the DEP's, if this does get, gets approved, great. If it doesn't, DEP is going to review the line as part of the notice, as part of the superseding order.
right, they will, and they will give an order, they will give an order of conditions. It's not like it's all gonna just, do whatever you want. DEP will investigate and they'll do a superseding order of conditions too. I was willing to vote on the peer review to see the wetland line tonight and go from there. That was my thought, but I just didn't wanna give up
So,
on something that I personally have been trying to fight for all these years
then make a motion. Let's take a vote
on,
on
Wetlands. line?
enforcing, on denying it through the 25-foot no touch zone. I mean, why make these guys spend all this extra money if after they do it,
But,
you're gonna try and make that motion anyway?
but separate it. We have to make a motion to close the hearing and then separate it, and we need to do a roll call vote.
do we want to close or continue? Do you want to close this
We have to,
out?
we have
Well,
to,
these-
we
well,
have
Depending
to,
on which way the vote goes.
we have to close the
You
hearing.
have to close I think you have to close the hearing.
We have to
Madam
close the hearing.
So
Why would we
it wouldn't be about this case. If we close the hearing, it won't be about this case.
It is about
It
this.
is about this case.
Then why would we close the hearing?
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna vote no either way, because it's within the 25-foot no touch, then why would we make their customers
peer review and
spend this
everything
Well,
money
we
on a
wouldn't.
peer review?
We wouldn't. We just take a vote on denying the project and sticking to the 25-foot no touch zone.
And that you have to close the hearing to
Close
do
the
that.
hearing to do that.
The public hearing, correct?
Public
Like as far as
hearing.
public comment. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's, I think, what maybe they mean.
So.
So I can't put any more input in once that happens, which is when I put all my input in.
Yeah, we're kind of going in circles at this point.
I
So
hate
is
to
this
have
what we
these-
want to do?
I honestly wanted to
Let's
close the
have some-
hearing to
Okay.
discuss the same thing.
We'll be closing the hearing and making a determination that we're against it. Yes. All right. Technically, she's right.
Okay.
We would close the hearing
Okay.
and vote no.
Now,
Otherwise, we would close the
That's-
hearing and vote
we close the hearing and then you can propose what you would like and then everybody can vote one way or the other. And
But does
then-
that have to be posted? The new,
Only if we want to have a new hearing.
okay.
It all depends on,
Now, what if the motion doesn't carry?
if the motion doesn't carry, we can make a
A second
separate motion.
Okay.
So if we close the hearing, that's why you don't roll them together. So rules of order, we close the hearing. Since we know that it's gonna be not agreed upon, rules of order say we close the hearing and make
Roll
it
call
clean.
vote.
And then we make a motion, and you make the motion that you would like, and then we do a roll call vote. And if it does not pass, then somebody else makes a separate motion. And if that does not pass, then we can table it for the next meeting and we can repost and reopen the public hearing. Or at that point, Niles's client goes straight to DEP because
Yeah. You
essentially
wouldn't have acted within
a
21
failure
days.
to vote is a denial, because you had two failed motions.
Yeah.
We can continue to make amended motions until we can come to something, but that is the cleanest path forward, is we have to separate the vote to close it, because we already know that we don't have, agreement, or we don't have close enough agreement to make it. Does that make sense to everybody?
I say we go for it.
Yep.
Okay,
Otherwise, we're not getting anywhere, and we're wasting
Yeah.
their time and
not
money.
only their time, but everybody else who's here for later projects. And I know that this is a really tough one, and whether we
Yeah.
like it or not, we only have so much jurisdiction, and we really have to, we're here for a purpose.
Okay, so I'm looking for a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so I would like to make a motion that we stick to our 20 years of 25 no touch and deny the project that has been put before us for 19 Captain's Way, because it is 13.8 feet, I think, from the wetland, and
The
I
line
think
goes
that
right through the middle of the house.
that,
right?
yeah, 25 foot goes right through the middle of the house, and I don't feel like as a commission that we're protecting the environment or even stretching it to the person who buys that house that could end up with some severe problems. So I need a second to that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Oh,
Aye.
Roll call.
Roll.
Oh, I'm sorry. Roll call vote.
No.
No, you gotta say your name.
Oh.
LeBlanc?
LeBlanc, no.
Bouchard, no.
Yates, yes.
Joe Chamberlain, yes.
William L. Finals, yes.
Matthew Ferraro, no.
Impasse.
So,
So it doesn't carry.
So it doesn't
No,
carry,
'cause
it's a
it's
tie,
3 to
3 to 3.
no, but the chair wouldn't vote on that, right? The chair doesn't vote on that. So it would be 3-2.
Why wouldn't the?
Doesn't
chair-
matter, still
Yeah.
doesn't carry.
It still doesn't
3 to
carry.
2,
If there's
right?
if it's a tie, it doesn't
Sorry.
carry.
A chair breaks the tie though, right?
Yeah. We don't have a full,
No,
Yeah, we
what
don't
I'm
have
saying
our
is
board
you
is
have,
7.
you have.
we have 7. We're a board of 7.
We're a board of 7.
But it's based off of who's here.
No, it's based off of, well, for a quorum, it's based off of the 7. For who's here, it's a tie, 3 to 3. I can vote. So it's 3
So
to
motion
3.
doesn't carry.
So the motion doesn't carry.
So now I'll make a motion.
Okay,
I make a motion to approve the project, with the stipulation that the drainage that you said you would put in, you're gonna put in, and the increased, erosion control,
Second.
what about the peer review?
and a peer review of the wetland line.
Stabilization of the,
Correct.
of the lawn.
Yeah.
As far as either sod or, what would, I guess we should be specific
Of
about
the
that.
grade.
What would the commission like? I just wanna make
The
sure.
double,
I'm sorry.
the double infiltration that we talked about,
No, I'm talking about
We're
on
talking about the slope.
the
slope,
slope
yeah.
itself. So
We
either
were gonna-
sod or we could do like a filter like a geogrid, that, you know, it's what, I guess we could leave that open, give them option, maybe say to the, satisfaction of the commission.
I like sod,
So,
because it's done.
Yeah.
plus our normal order, the rest of our normal order of conditions.
It's more just so that there's no
on that.
questions later, that everyone's.
So sod on slope, double siltation protection, roof drain, so those are 3 things?
Yes,
Yes,
so the motion's been
seconded,
made and seconded. Is this a roll call too?
yes.
LeBlanc, yes.
Bouchard, yes.
Yates, no.
Chamberlain, no.
Alfonso, no.
Matthew Farrell, yes.
Okay,
So, but it doesn't
doesn't carry.
Doesn't carry.
carry.
I think we're at an impasse.
I just want to make, we might want to double check on the chair, not that I'm questioning the answer or any
Okay,
of you.
I'll ask I'll be happy to ask Lillian, but I think I've asked her before,
Okay.
but
okay.
I'll ask her
So
again.
we
Yeah.
have a record of the
Our select
votes.
board chair votes,
Yes.
so,
Yeah.
Yeah, usually if there's
Bob
a,
didn't vote because he didn't want to sometimes, but not because he couldn't.
because he abstained, because he was the agent.
but I think it's more if there is, you know, if there's 5 or 6, if there's 6, it's, you have to allow the members to vote. And I think that's what carries the vote, I believe. That's my understanding of it. But again, I could be wrong.
I'll ask Lillian.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah,
We'll ask and then we'll have it counted,
yeah,
and if it's not clear one way or the other,
yeah,
then
that makes sense.
go to DEP.
That makes sense. Okay, great. All right, thank you. I appreciate your time, everyone.
Sorry, Naz.
No, don't be sorry. You guys have a great night.
All right, I guess I'm putting a question mark by that one. Okay, next is off Myrick Street, but everybody can see that we already made a determination on that last time.
Yes.
All right, 28 Precinct Street, Fire Station. Spencer, we're counting on you to bring up the mood.
All right. You want me to sing a little song and dance or something?
He said, bring up the mood.
What's that?
She said, bring up the mood.
Oh, the song and dance. Good evening, members of the Lakeville Conservation Commission. My name is Spencer Lenz of Park Corporation, and this is
Seaver Anderson, wetland scientist at Park Corporation.
So, since we presented back, I believe in May, we've gone through 2 rounds of a peer review with Merrill, and that has yielded some good results for the project. On the physical side of things, the only, other than a few rims and inverts and numbers sort of shifting around and changing on the sort of drainage invert table, the only material changes you're going to see physically on the plans to the fire station itself is a new 15-foot wide berm going around the basin, proposed to the north here, and an extra row of infiltration units proposed for the underground infiltration system number 2. Other than that, like I said, some minor septic changes as well. The septic has since been approved on Monday, or yesterday. And outside of that, it was a lot of just back and forth with Deb. Deb, nice to meet you. Just a lot of back and forth with Deb, providing revised calculations, updated calculations, showing some of the data for the soils, the parameters around which we designed, illicit discharge statement, a lot of the sort of classic things that you'd expect out of an application we ended up providing as a result of the peer review. So I won't speak for Deb, and I'll just let her comment on the peer review at this point.
Deb Keller with Merrill Engineers. As Spencer mentioned, we went around twice to review the plans, that they were quite complete, just as he stated, some drainage calculations, updates here and there. And I'm good as of this last round. The only comment that I think I mentioned just to include the, a special condition to receive a copy of their stormwater
Swap,
pollution.
yeah,
their SWIP.
whatever,
Yep.
right, I already
Yep.
have a file for the
Yep. Yep.
OOC, so,
Yeah.
so I think we're good to go.
Great.
Yep. And I'll just say we concur with the conditioning of a SWIP prior to construction.
Right. So I'm looking for a motion to close the hearing
So move.
and
Second.
issue an order of conditions with all our standard conditions before, during, after construction, and the additional, condition of a copy of the SWIP and the other one. There was two, this,
We had the SWIP.
And the maintenance plan?
no, it's
I
just
thought
the
that was
SWIP.
already commented
Stormwater
on.
operation and maintenance.
Operation maintenance plan.
Yep.
I believe they have in their drainage.
Okay, and the
Yeah,
operation.
we
of-
separated
okay.
under separate cover, I believe,
Okay.
after one of the rounds of comments.
Okay,
Just helpful because usually the drainage report gets buried and forgotten about, so.
Absolutely. Yep.
That was a drainage joke, right? Gets buried.
Yeah, exactly.
okay, so,
So we have a motion and a second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Have a great rest of your night.
thank you. Thank you, Deb, for coming.
Thank you very much, Deb.
We have a recess for 1 minute, have a motion for a short recess.
So move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. Are we back on?
Yep, you're good.
Okay.
Motion to come back to open the meeting.
So move.
That's second.
And it was seconded, and
All in favor?
Aye.
I think it's to resume or come
Okay,
back for a
resume.
break.
All right. Yeah, I've had better nights. Okay, so we're up to 160 Bedford Street.
Bedford
So I
Street.
need a motion to continue 160 Bedford Street and rear Bedford Street to August 12th, 2025 at 6:30 PM at the police station.
So moved.
at their,
Second.
at their request, I assume?
Yes. We're waiting for the environmental part. Somehow got, a lot of these going back and forth are very
Sure.
difficult. Have the first one and the second one and the third one, and especially 160 Bedford Street, so.
And the fifth one, 37 times removed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
You have a motion and a second.
All right, well,
We need to vote.
discussion
Oh,
of this letter I wrote.
To 160?
Yeah, no, to, Donna Catano,
oh, the abutter?
the abutter.
Yeah.
All right, so they went through Prime Engineering, whoever they hired to do the wetland
Oh,
flagging.
for
Went
the
on-
bill?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
went on her property and flagged the wetland without her permission. So she took down all the flags. So now, I'm not sure how it's going, but they're pursuing her for $500 because they say that's what it costs to replace the flags. So she's kind of in legal difficulty. So I have two things here. On June 26th, well, yeah, on June 26th, 24th, I'm sorry, she wrote this to me, which is in the record, Nancy Yates, in the event my neighbor needs to trespass on my property again, have him get a court order. Thank you, Donna. And then it says, I will allow conservation only on my property if I am notified 24 hours in advance. Okay? So that was after the whole flag thing. So now, because I don't know what kind of legal difficulty there is if they're pursuing for their $500, she asked me to write this letter, so I will read it to you. Dear Miss Catano, it's just spelled so funny, C-A-E-T-A-N-O, Catano. The Lakeville Conservation Commission did not at any time notify you either in writing or verbally that we would be accessing your property for any reason prior to May 14th, 2025. And the reason I added the date, because after the flags were up and torn down, when she sent the letter to Mark, you went out on May 15th. You notified her on the 14th, and you went out when they reflagged it the second time, and you notified her that you were coming
The day
and we're
before.
doing it.
Day before, and I was there the following day with Goddard Engineering, or whoever was flagging, doing the flagging, so.
So
And
did she
that-
pull out the second set of flags?
No.
Oh, good.
No, well,
No.
there was permission and she was notified by us, but that's what I'm saying. Before that May 14th, when you went out there to do that,
And 2 days later, Brad Holmes
There
went
was-
out and actually did the wetland
Okay.
delineation.
For what it's worth, I mean, it would be complicated, but in the future, when we have something where we think wetlands are gonna have to be flagged on a neighbor's property like this, we always have a filer sign consent to come onto their property. But something that we should probably ask you to look at, Mark, is when flagging is gonna have to be done on an abutter's property, is that at the filing, talking to the abutter up front and say, we are gonna have to do flagging on your property.
but we're not. Prime Engineering does.
No,
Okay.
yeah, that I'm using the royal we, right?
Okay.
As part of the filing process, the filers should
Right.
not only tell the abutters, like, within, you know, a mile or two, whatever the requirement is, but the immediate neighbors that, hey, by the way, we have to flag wetlands, and we know we're going to have to, that the wetland scientist is going to have to be on your property. We will give you 24, 48 hours, whatever notice that they're gonna be on there.
But it shouldn't be on us.
No, it shouldn't. I'm
No.
saying that we're gonna
Okay.
put it on the filers, but
I just wanna
to-
make it clear to Mark what we're asking him to do, that the
Just to
Prime
prevent-
Engineering needs to know, do not go also, not.
or whoever it is,
Right.
just to prevent this from happening again
Well,
in the future.
nobody should be going on somebody else's property without permission.
Absolutely.
We get
Right.
that,
Ever.
when they file with us, okay, when 160 Street Bedford filed with us, we can go on your property, you're filing, so you sign that we can go on your property and look at it. But that doesn't give us permission to go on anybody, or them permission to go on anybody else's
I'm
property.
just trying to see how we can help get
No, I
ahead of it
agree,
in the
I just
future.
wanna make sure it's not it's on the
And often-
It's
often-
on,
applicant.
yes.
And oftentimes it's gonna be after the fact, right? Because we see plans where the wetland delineation ends on the project site
Yeah.
plans, and we know that they extend.
Right, and if people say, no, we gotta go with what we got, or what we have. That's what my mother would say, don't say
So
God.
after we see site plans, that's when we would notify the applicant, right?
I think what Michelle's saying, we need to be cognizant of this is happening,
Yes,
correct?
yep.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to walk on someone else's property if they didn't know I was there. I
Look
mean,
at,
No.
you know, a bunch of, what, 3, 4 of the filings in the last year have been neighbors weaponizing the commission because they're upset that their neighbor did something that, you know, and didn't get caught for it. We're trying to prevent those types
So
of
can I have a
situations.
motion, this is all right to give to Donna?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I'm signing it, Mark.
Back to that, about having people let someone know they come on their property. What if someone says, no, we don't want you on your property? And they need to do a wetlands delineation, but that property owner doesn't want anyone on there.
You can't go.
Yeah, we gotta go with
Yeah.
what we have. We have to
They
go
just,
as close
they'll
as
just
it
have
comes
to end it at the
to, yeah.
property line.
Okay.
Yeah.
And depending upon the piece of property, I mean, if it's a fairly large one, you're not always cognizant of just exactly where the lines are. I mean,
Yes,
you got a plan, but you know, does it match up with what's here? Next thing you know, somebody with a shotgun is pointing at you.
Yeah.
I think all we have left is minutes.
You're up, Joe.
Yeah,
You got a couple of them, right?
Yeah, I got a couple of them here. Yeah, first one, and no, I have no explanation of why this one's this old, but
Yeah.
it was just discovered.
the
I make-
January.
Yeah, January. I make a motion
I
that we
lost 'em.
approve the Conservation Commission minutes of meetings of July 28th, 2025, as presented to us.
Second.
He's doing them one at a time, right? You're
Yeah,
doing them one
yeah,
at a
did
time.
one at a time.
Point of clarification, you said July 28th. And it's not
January
yet
28th.
July
January
28th.
January 28th.
Okay, I thought you said July 28th.
I never know what I'm saying.
Okay, all right, so January
Jan-
28th
January
meeting minutes.
28th.
All good then.
John, somebody say so moved?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, he made the motion.
Oh,
I mean,
Joe,
and I
okay.
seconded
He seconded
Okay.
it.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, he always makes his own motion.
Yeah,
Okay.
the minutes are always Joe.
Yeah, we don't mess with that.
Make a
I don't wanna be
motion that we
responsible.
approve the Town of Lakeville Conservation Commission minutes for the meeting of May 13th, 2025 as presented to us.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's it.
That's it. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The fastest
Hey, Mark,
one.
I'm gonna give you this.